5 million Americans currently suffer from Alzheimer's disease, and a recent study estimates that over 150,000 of these patients are North Carolinians. Thankfully, there is an organization that provides support, information, and knowledgeable advice to assist Alzheimer's families. The Eastern North Carolina chapter of the Alzheimer's Association serves 51 counties in the Tar Heel State and covers the eastern seaboard with colorful and heartwarming events. A major effort is the incorporation of the national fundraising effort Walk to End Alzheimer's. One of the largest walks is held in Fayetteville, and committee members have close ties to the organization.
The Alzheimer's Association is an organization that's near and dear to my heart, unfortunately. I just lost my grandmother 2 weeks ago from the disease, where she suffered from Alzheimer's for over 20 years.
Special portions of the event, like the Promise Garden ceremony, honor both caregivers and Alzheimer's patients. Each color represents roles in Alzheimer's care. After a moving ceremony, participants then plant their flowers in a designated area called the Garden of Hope. Chapter President Lisa Roberts says the Fayetteville Walk is truly unique in participation and passion.
Fayetteville is such a city of light and energy, and there's such a passion, and especially the business community here in Fayetteville. I think they really embrace important missions, and then they get behind it.
Exciting activities and an uplifting opening ceremony entertained participants before the walk began. The owner of McKee Homes, Pat McKee, explains how this idea became reality.
It's actually a fun event. It's uplifting. It's spiritual. Everybody got a chance to participate. It's different than the traditional runs and things that you see out there, and that it really is uplifting, and hopefully it encourages people to bring other people back in the future.
During the event, participants were encouraged to share why they walked to end Alzheimer's. The variety of ages and backgrounds show that we all have a reason to walk.
I know for me it was my grandmother, and if we can be a part of something that helps families not have to go through the impact and the decimation of watching a loved one deteriorate, we do everything we can.
I walked in the walk today for my dad, who is suffering from Alzheimer's.
I'm here today because I'm representing someone that has a parent that's going through Alzheimer's right now, and we need to stop this. We need to find a cure, and we are on power today, and we're going to get out here, we're going to do it, and we're going to bring more awareness. Thank you. Go!
This year's walk was a tremendous success. Pat McKee shares the increase from last year was substantial thanks to sponsors and the generosity of over 40 teams and numerous individual walkers.
As far as money raised, we had the largest year we've ever had. We raised over $59,000 this year, which is an increase of almost $10,000 from the year before. Every year it's gotten bigger and bigger, and we've raised more and more money, which is incredible.
Another event that is dear to the Eastern North Carolina chapter is the annual candlelight ceremony held in downtown Raleigh. This event is particularly geared towards caregivers as a time of reflection and passion for a cure. Volunteers from the chapter presented a special slideshow to the audience with words and pictures of encouragement. The chapter also offers help to those struggling as caregivers.
We know that Alzheimer's doesn't start at 9 a.m. in the morning and stop at 5, and so it's an opportunity for people to get the help that they need by calling the 800 number, and then what they do is they will let us know if there's people within this area that we need to follow up on, but people are certainly invited to call us directly at the office as well.
Some volunteers had family connections to the disease, while others are not connected by blood but are still strong advocates.
I got involved about 2.5 years ago. A very close friend of mine, when I was attending the UNC Greensboro Music School, had a grandmother who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
The Alzheimer's Association firmly believes in taking care of the caregivers who give hundreds of hours of unpaid care annually. A full-time caregiver served as a guest speaker during the evening.
I became involved with the association shortly after my mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and we cared for her at home for several years, and then had to place her into a facility. And it was at that point that the journey became extremely difficult, and fortunately when I was able to connect with the association, and they were able to provide me with lots of support, resources, information that made the battle much easier.
Alzheimer's is a cruel disease that takes away the essence of the individual. Old hobbies and interests, once so sharp, slowly are lost to this illness.
Oh my goodness, she was definitely a caregiver. She loved taking care of children, grandchildren, spent the majority of her life doing just that, and just memories of her down on the floor playing board games, wrestling with little action figures, with all the multiple children that she took care of over the years, baking wonderful, wonderful chocolate cakes.
The Alzheimer's Association provides much needed attention and information to these families to ease their pain.
I think it more helped me meet people who were struggling with the same thing that I was. I have met an amazing group of girls that have, each person has a different story, and I think that that's kind of made me realize that it's all too common and something needs to change.
Truly, something does need to change. As the disease escalates with no cure or prevention, more funds and public awareness are needed to slow and eventually stop Alzheimer's in its tracks. But until the day we have a world without Alzheimer's, the Eastern North Carolina chapter of the Alzheimer's Association is willing and ready to support and honor Alzheimer's families.